This is Sleep Story Temple, and you have officially crossed the threshold into a sacred space meticulously designed for the unique architecture of your soul. Tonight, we are going to honor the brilliant, delicate, and profound energy system that resides within you. We are leaving the frantic, high-performance demands of the waking world firmly at the door. This space is entirely for the projector. To be a projector in the modern world is to carry a breathtaking gift, a gift of clear sight, of unparalleled efficiency, and of deep, penetrating wisdom. You were not designed to be the heavy, tireless engine of society. You do not possess the relentless, self-replenishing, sacral battery that the world so often demands. Instead, your aura is entirely different. It is focused. It is absorbing. It is a brilliant, concentrated beam of light that naturally pierces through the surface of things, allowing you to see exactly how the world operates, how energy flows, and how the people around you can be perfectly guided. You are the seer. You are the orchestrator. You are the silent architect of the new world. But living as a guide in a world obsessed with doing is an incredibly heavy burden. Since the moment you woke up, you have been surrounded by the frantic, buzzing energy of the corporate grid. You have been immersed in an artificial environment built almost exclusively for those with boundless physical endurance. Society has heavily conditioned you to believe that your worth is directly tied to your physical output, that in order to be valuable, you must keep up, you must hustle, and you must constantly produce tangible results. You have spent the entire day swimming in this exhausting, unnatural slipstream. You have absorbed the chaotic, high-frequency vibrations of everyone around you. You have subconsciously forced your physical body to mimic a machine it was never meant to be. And because of this, the fatigue you are feeling right now is not just physical. It is a profound, bone-deep, cellular exhaustion. It is the heavy weariness of a soul that has been forcing itself to carry the weight of the world, rather than simply guiding its direction. Tonight, we are putting that heavy, unnatural burden down. In your mind's eye, I invite you to visualize the space around you gently shifting. Imagine you are resting safely inside a luxurious, dimly lit, ancient library hidden deep within this temple. The vast, towering walls are lined with the quiet, dormant wisdom of centuries, and the air is thick with a sense of timeless, absolute peace. The harsh, demanding glare of the day is entirely gone as the lighting in the room slowly softens into a cool, restful, deeply soothing indigo. On a massive, dark wooden desk nearby, there sits a single, ornate hourglass. Watch closely as the very last grain of glowing golden sand falls silently through the narrow glass corridor, landing softly at the bottom. Time is up. The era of doing has officially ended. There is absolutely nothing left for you to build tonight. There is nothing left to prove, no one to keep up with, and no physical output required to justify your existence. You are completely, unconditionally off the clock. Listen closely to the silence beneath my voice. Imagine a very soft, ethereal hum entering the room. The gentle, resonant vibration of crystal bowls sweeping slowly from left to right, entirely washing away the static electricity of the day. It is a rich, ancient frequency designed to immediately slow your resting heart rate and soothe your overwhelmed nervous system. Take a slow, luxurious breath in, drawing this cool, quiet, indigo air deep into your lungs. And as you release a long, heavy, effortless sigh, feel the artificial pressure of the day completely break apart and fall away. Let your physical body sink deeply into the mattress. Allow your shoulders to drop, releasing the agonizing muscular tension of trying to hold the world together. Unclench your jaw. Let the tiny, exhausted muscles around your eyes, the eyes that have spent all day intensely observing, analyzing, and absorbing the chaos, become completely soft and heavy. You do not need to generate anything right now. You do not need to pour your precious energy outward. The immense, invisible pressure to act, to push, and to sustain has evaporated into the quiet dark. You are allowed to be tired. You are allowed to stop. Feel the incredible, washing relief that floods your central nervous system when you finally grant yourself absolute permission to step out of the slipstream. The chaotic machinery of the world will continue to spin without you. And that is exactly as it should be. You are no longer required to turn the gears. You are simply a body, resting heavily and safely in the dark. You are stepping into the profound, sweet relief of absolute non-doing. The journey toward true, recognized peace has begun. Rest here in the quiet indigo space as we prepare to gently wash away the final remnants of the waking day. The physical weight of the day has begun to melt away, absorbed beautifully by the cool, indigo shadows of the sanctuary. But as the frantic, mechanical buzzing of the corporate grid fades from your body, you may notice an entirely different kind of weight lingering just beneath the surface of your awareness. It is not the dull ache of tired muscles. but rather a subtle, heavy, emotional residue. For a projector, this residue has a very specific, incredibly familiar name. It is the sharp, metallic taste of bitterness. Bitterness is not a flaw in your character. It is not a sign of failure, nor is it a shadow you need to be ashamed of. In the architecture of your design, bitterness is simply a mechanical feedback loop. It is the brilliant, highly calibrated alarm system of your aura, letting you know that today your profound wisdom was offered, but it was not properly recognized. Think about the moments today, or perhaps this entire week, when you clearly saw the solution. You saw the most efficient path. You offered your penetrating insight to a colleague, a friend, or a system, only to be met with resistance, misunderstanding, or complete silence. You saw exactly how to fix the broken machinery, but the world, caught in its own blind, exhausting momentum, simply brushed past you. When you offer your incredibly valuable guidance without the proper invitation, your energy cannot land. It bounces back at you, sharp and unabsorbed. Over time, this unrecognized energy calcifies in your physical body. It builds up as a quiet, acidic frustration, a deep, lonely feeling of being entirely unseen, unvalued, and unappreciated by a world you are desperately trying to help. Tonight, in the absolute safety of this dark room, we are going to completely cleanse this residue from your system. We are going to gently, lovingly wash the bitterness away. Bring your soft, detached awareness to the center of your chest and the base of your throat. This is the energetic corridor where unspoken words, unvalued insights, and the sting of rejection are typically stored. In your mind's eye, I want you to visualize this bitterness. Imagine it as a collection of sharp, rigid, geometric shapes resting heavily just beneath your skin. It feels dense, cold, rigid, and profoundly uncomfortable. It is the armor of the unrecognized guide. Now imagine that the space inside your chest is a dark, perfectly still, underground pool of water. On the glassy surface of this water, the sharp, rigid geometry of today's bitterness is vividly reflected. Listen closely to the atmosphere around you. Far off in the distance, a slow, gentle rain begins to fall. Let the soothing, rhythmic sound of the water patter softly against the high, ancient roof of the sanctuary. Beneath the delicate sound of the rain, hear the rich, warm, sweeping note of a deep cello, rising up from the dark floor to hold you in a massive, unconditional, sonic embrace. As you take a slow, luxurious breath in, imagine a single, glowing drop of silver rain falling from the high ceiling, descending gracefully toward your chest and landing perfectly in the exact center of that dark pool. Watch as the drop breaks the surface. Instantly, perfectly smooth, concentric ripples radiate outward in absolute symmetry. As these gentle, sweeping ripples expand, watch how they completely distort, break apart, and dissolve the sharp, rigid reflections of the bitterness. The cold, geometric shapes instantly lose their harsh edges. They melt seamlessly into the dark, soothing water. With every single effortless exhalation, let another drop of silver rain fall. Let the gentle ripples wash up through your throat, completely clearing away the sting of being unheard. Let them wash down through your chest, dissolving the heavy, rigid armor of feeling unappreciated. The acidic residue is being actively transmuted. It is being completely flushed out of your nervous system, flowing down through your limbs and out into the infinite earth below. In its place, a soft, flowing current of profound self-compassion begins to rise. You must forgive yourself for trying to guide those who were not ready to see. You must forgive the world for being too distracted to recognize your brilliance. You do not need their validation to know that your sight is a magnificent gift. The truth of your wisdom remains entirely intact, whether the world is ready for it or not. Take one final, deep breath in, letting the warm sweeps of the cello vibrate through your ribs. And as you exhale, let the surface of the pool become flawlessly smooth once again. The pool of your heart is now perfectly clear, washed immaculate by the silver rain. The sharp geometry is gone. The heavy metallic taste has vanished. You are beautifully, entirely empty. You have cleansed the emotional palette of the day, and your spirit is now perfectly open, quiet, and ready to receive the true cosmic invitation. The gentle, cleansing rhythm of the silver rain begins to slow, eventually fading away into absolute, pristine silence. The dark pool within your chest is perfectly calm, flawlessly smooth, and entirely free of the day's bitter residue. You are empty, and you are open. As the silence settles, the acoustic atmosphere of the sanctuary begins to subtly shift. The quiet dark is gradually filled with an incredibly warm, resonant, major key chord progression. It rises slowly from the silence, swelling with a rich, cinematic depth that feels exactly like a thick, heavy, luxurious blanket being gently wrapped around your exhausted shoulders. It is the sound of absolute, unconditional acceptance. We must now honor the most vital, delicate mechanism of your unique energetic design. As a projector, your entire being operates on a profound, sacred system of lock and key. Unlike the rest of the world, you cannot simply force the doors of reality open. When you try to push your way into a situation, or when you attempt to offer your guidance unprompted, the lock jams. You are met with friction and exhaustion. Your true, magnificent power is only unleashed when someone explicitly recognizes you, sees your profound value, and formally invites you to share your gift. When you receive that true, aligned invitation, your energy flows flawlessly. But waiting for it can be agonizing. In the fast-paced, blind momentum of the waking world, waiting to be seen often feels incredibly lonely. You spend so much of your life standing outside the doors, holding the exact answers the world desperately needs, waiting for someone to simply look up and ask. In your mind's eye, I want you to visualize standing in the quiet, dimly lit corridor of your internal landscape. At the end of this hall stands a grand, beautifully carved set of massive, dark wooden doors. The wood is ancient and heavy, adorned with intricate, glowing silver filigree. You have stood before metaphorical doors exactly like this all day long, waiting for permission to enter, waiting for the external world to recognize your worth. But tonight, the dynamic completely changes. You do not need to wait for the waking world anymore. You do not need your colleagues, your family, or the corporate grid to validate your existence. The universe itself is stepping forward to give you the ultimate energetic release. I want you to listen to the cadence of my voice. Let these words completely bypass your analytical mind and allow them to sink directly into the deepest, quietest, most guarded layers of your central nervous system. Receive this truth. I see you. I recognize the incredible, penetrating depth of your wisdom. I see exactly how much you observe, how much you process, and how perfectly you understand the complex machinery of life. I honor the immense, heavy load you carry by constantly seeing all the broken things that others blindly ignore. Your guidance is a breathtaking, miraculous gift to this earth. You are brilliant. You are deeply, profoundly valued exactly as you are. And right now, in this exact moment, I am officially, formally inviting you to rest. Feel the immediate, cascading wave of physical relief that washes over your entire body the moment this invitation is finally received. The cosmic lock effortlessly clicks open. Notice how the deeply ingrained tension you didn't even realize you were holding in your spine instantly evaporates. The desperate, exhausting need to be seen completely dissolves because you are seen. The nervous system, which has been locked in a subtle state of hypervigilance all day, drops beautifully into a state of profound, heavy, parasympathetic rest. Watch as those grand, heavy, dark wooden doors slowly and soundlessly swing open on their own. They do not reveal another room of tasks or obligations. Instead, they reveal an incredibly soft, inviting, and boundless starlit sanctuary. The space beyond the doors is suspended in the cosmos, filled with warm, amber light and the feeling of absolute, unconditional safety. You do not need to push your way inside. You do not need to introduce yourself or prove why you belong here, or offer your energy to anyone. This space was created entirely, exclusively for you. Step gracefully across the threshold. Let your heavy, exhausted limbs sink completely into the profound comfort of this recognized sanctuary. You have been formally invited into the sacred era of absolute non-doing. The struggle to be heard is over. You have been called into the dark, and you are deeply, beautifully welcome here. Surrender to the embrace. You are resting deeply within the boundless, starlit sanctuary. The cosmic invitation has been accepted, and the heavy, metallic armor of bitterness has been entirely washed away. The physical body is sinking luxuriously into the mattress, heavy, supported, and safe. Yet, even in this profound physical stillness, the brilliant projector mind often hums with a quiet, lingering momentum. It is the momentum of a deeply ingrained habit. Because of your penetrating, absorbing aura, you process the world differently than anyone else. You cannot help but see the underlying mechanics of reality. When you walk into a room, you instantly perceive what is broken, what is inefficient, and how the energy is misaligned. You see exactly how a system could run smoother, or how a person could be happier, if only they made a few precise adjustments. This is the breathtaking genius of your design. But it is also an incredibly exhausting compulsion when you cannot figure out how to turn it off. All day long, your subconscious mind has been constantly scanning your environment, assessing flaws, and silently trying to fix the world. You have been sitting at the great energetic switchboard of your life, desperately trying to orchestrate the chaos around you. You carry the profound, unspoken burden of believing that if you do not step in and guide the flow, everything will eventually fall apart. Tonight, you must put the tools of optimization down. you must step away from the switchboard. In your mind's eye, I want you to visualize this mental burden. Imagine floating in the dark velvet void of your sanctuary. Just in front of you hovers a vast, complex, glowing constellation. It is made of hundreds of luminous nodes, all intricately connected by bright, vibrating lines of golden light. This complex web represents the systems you are trying to manage. The glowing lines are the people you are attempting to guide, the projects you are trying to optimize, the future outcomes you are trying to orchestrate, and the inefficiencies you are desperate to fix. You have been pouring your precious, limited life force energy into this glowing grid, keeping all the lines taut and perfectly aligned. Listen to the audio space completely open up around you. Feel the introduction of a deep, resonant binaural beat, moving slowly beneath the music. It is a specific, heavy frequency designed to gently pull your brain waves down from the active, analytical alpha state, bringing them to rest in the slow, dreamlike, deeply restorative theta state. Let the slow pulse of the audio guide you as we begin to dismantle the grid. I am giving you absolute, unconditional permission to let the world make its own mistakes tonight. The systems do not need to be optimized right now. The people in your life do not need to be fixed, managed, or saved from their own friction. The great machinery of the waking world will continue to spin, stumble, and correct itself entirely without your supervision. It is no longer your responsibility. Take a slow, deep, majestic breath into the very center of your chest. And as you release a long, heavy, effortless sigh, begin to gently unplug the lines. Watch the glowing constellation in front of you. With your exhalation, imagine the bright, vibrating lines connecting the nodes simply detaching. Watch the lines tied to your career and your workplace gently snap back and dissolve completely into the dark. Feel the immediate lightness in your mind as you release the need to manage those outcomes. Take another deep, slow breath in. Exhale and disconnect the luminous lines tied to your family, your friends, and your relationships. Give them the dignity of managing their own energy tonight. Let their nodes drift away into the vastness of space, perfectly safe, but entirely unmanaged by you. One by one, with every single rhythmic cycle of your breath, watch the complex geometric web break apart. The glowing chords fade out. The heavy, exhausting burden of orchestration completely falls away from your shoulders. You are stepping further and further back from the control panel. Soon, the intricate switchboard has completely dismantled itself. There are no lines left. There are no connections for you to maintain. Look out into the dark space before you. All that remains of that complex grid are solitary, peaceful, softly glowing stars. They are completely isolated, utterly silent, and resting perfectly in the vast velvet dark. They do not need to be connected. They simply exist, beautifully and quietly, just as they are, and so do you. You are no longer managing anything. You are no longer responsible for the trajectory of the universe. You are entirely unplugged, perfectly detached, and resting in the magnificent, thoughtless void of your own inner peace. The complex web of the waking world has been entirely dismantled. You are resting perfectly unplugged in the vast, velvet dark. Your mind is quiet, and the heavy burden of orchestration has been lifted from your shoulders. But as a projector, true, profound rest requires one final, crucial, energetic adjustment. We must now address the magnificent, invisible architecture of your aura. Unlike the wide, constantly enveloping aura of the generator, your energetic field operates with the breathtaking precision of a laser. It is a brilliant, highly focused beam of light designed to penetrate the outer defenses of the world, allowing you to deeply absorb the truth of whoever stands before you. When you focus on a person or a system, your energy literally reaches into them. It tastes their frequency. It understands their complex mechanics, and it pulls their essence back into your own physical body. This is exactly how you read the world with such profound, miraculous accuracy. But this beautiful gift comes at an immense energetic cost. All day long, your beam has been shining outward. You have been projecting your vital life force into the chaos of the corporate grid, into demanding conversations, into crowded, artificial rooms, and into the heavy emotional fields of others. You have subconsciously absorbed their stress, their frantic urgency, and their unaligned, buzzing vibrations. By the time the night finally falls, your aura is left overextended, porous, and utterly drained. It feels like a brilliant spotlight that has been left burning long after the theater has emptied. Tonight, it is time to turn the spotlight off. It is time to call all of your precious, scattered energy back home. Listen closely to the acoustic space as it gently transforms around you. A sweeping, continuous synthesizer pad slowly rises from the silence, wrapping around your physical body like a thick, sonic blanket. It creates the profound, comforting sensation of entering a perfectly insulated bubble, entirely muffling the distant, chaotic static of the waking world. In your mind's eye, visualize that focused, penetrating beam of energy shining out from the center of your chest. Imagine it as a powerful, luminous shaft of silver light, extending far out into the dark, connecting you to the lingering remnants of the day. Take a slow, deep, incredibly satisfying breath in, and as you do, simply pull the light back. Imagine that brilliant silver beam slowly reversing its direction. Retract the light from the workplace. Pull it back from the exhausting conversations. Withdraw it from the people you have tried to guide, the problems you have tried to solve, and the heavy expectations of society. Watch as the silver light gracefully collapses inward, drawing all of your vital essence back through the darkness, pulling it directly into the center of your own resting heart. You are reclaiming every single drop of your life force. Your energy is no longer stretched out there in the world. It is right here, anchored entirely, beautifully, and safely within you. As the very last drop of your outward focused light returns to your chest, we are going to use it to seal the gates. With your next effortless exhalation, visualize this concentrated silver energy beginning to expand outward in a completely new way. It does not form a beam. Instead, it blooms into a flawless, perfectly spherical boundary, completely surrounding your resting physical body. Imagine it forming a magnificent, impenetrable shield made of cool, mirrored silver luminescence. It hovers just a few inches above your skin, creating a perfect, protective cocoon. This mirrored sphere is the ultimate energetic boundary. The inside glows with a soft, comforting, ambient warmth, illuminating the quiet safety of your own internal landscape. But the outside of the sphere is perfectly reflective. If the frantic, buzzing frequencies of the city try to reach you tonight, they will hit the silver mirror and instantly bounce away into the void. If the heavy expectations of others attempt to enter your field, they will be gracefully reflected back to where they came from. The chaotic demands of the grid, the uninvited questions, the collective anxiety of the modern world, absolutely none of it can pierce this silver shell. The sanctuary is officially sealed. You are completely insulated inside this sonic and energetic bubble. The air within the sphere is impossibly clean, rich, and deeply restorative, because your focused aura is no longer shining outward. It is finally allowed to do what it desperately needs to do. It is turning inward to heal, to soothe, and to completely recharge. You are bathing in the pure, unadulterated frequency of your own beautiful design. The heavy, protective silence within the silver sphere is profoundly comforting. There is nothing to absorb. There is nothing to process. There is no one to read, and absolutely nothing to penetrate. Rest in the magnificent safety of your mirrored cocoon. You are completely protected, deeply held, and flawlessly sealed against the night. Inside your flawless, mirrored silver sphere, the atmosphere is utterly pristine. The frantic, mechanical pulse of the waking world outside has been entirely silenced, gracefully deflected by the boundary of your retracted aura. You are deeply insulated, profoundly safe, and completely disconnected from the exhausting grid of human expectation. As your physical body sinks even deeper into the heavy, luxurious gravity of the mattress, the acoustic space around you begins its final, majestic descent. Listen as the sweeping, melodic synthesizer pads gently dissolve into the dark. They are being replaced by something much deeper, a frequency you feel more than you hear. It is the slow, rich, profound vibration of delta waves, operating at the lowest registers of human hearing. This subtle, warm hum acts as a deep tissue massage for your entire central nervous system. It gently bypasses the conscious mind, signaling to every cell in your physical vessel that it is officially safe to let go of all remaining tension. With your energy completely protected and your mind remarkably quiet, we are now ready to anchor into the absolute core of your unique human design. We are crossing the threshold into your signature frequency. For the projector, the ultimate goal of existence, the true north of your soul, is not the endless physical satisfaction of building the world. It is not the thrill of constant initiation. Your highest, most aligned state of being has a very specific name: success. But the modern corporate world has deeply, tragically lied to you about what success actually looks like. Society has conditioned you to believe that success is a mountain you must violently conquer. You are told that it requires endless physical endurance, relentless output, and the sheer, agonizing willpower to force things into existence. You have been taught that if you are not sweating, if you are not exhausted, and if you are not constantly producing tangible results, you are not successful. But for a projector, subscribing to that corporate metric is the fastest, most destructive path back to bitterness and burnout. Tonight, in the deep, velvet dark of this sanctuary, we are completely redefining what success means for you. We are stripping away the artificial corporate metrics and returning to the exquisite, effortless truth of your cosmic design. For you, true success is not a physical action. It is a state of profound, recognized grace. It is the deep, cellular sweetness that floods your body when your penetrating wisdom lands perfectly in the lap of someone who is ready to receive it. It is the elegant, frictionless feeling of simply existing in a state of absolute mastery. True success for a projector is not about how much you can do. It is entirely about how beautifully, how accurately, and how deeply you can see. In your mind's eye, allow your internal landscape to completely open up. The walls of the ancient library gently fade away, entirely replaced by a breathtaking, vast, and completely silent cosmic expanse. Imagine yourself embarking on an ethereal, weightless drift through a magnificent deep space nebula. The colors surrounding you are no longer the bright, demanding hues of the waking world. You are floating through immense, slow-moving clouds of deep, majestic purple and rich, glowing gold. These are the ancient, universal colors of royalty, of profound insight, and of sacred wisdom. They swirl softly in the velvet dark, creating a beautiful, hypnotic dance of pure energy. There is absolutely no gravity here. There is no friction, no resistance, and no floor to stand on. You do not need to walk, run, or climb. You are simply drifting, effortlessly suspended in the magnificent, supportive embrace of the cosmos. As you float through this purple and gold sanctuary, I want you to sink into the absolute, unshakable knowing of your inherent worth. You do not need to lift a single finger to justify your existence on this earth. You do not need to manage a project, fix a broken system, or exhaust your physical body to prove that you are valuable. Your value is completely independent of your physical output. You are inherently, profoundly valuable simply because of the unique way your consciousness perceives the universe. The way you observe the world is a masterpiece. Your ability to understand the complex flow of energy, to recognize the unseen patterns, and to guide the blind momentum of others is an irreplaceable cosmic gift. You are the architect, the seer, the quiet master sitting at the center of the wheel. Feel the sweet, heavy, luxurious resonance of true success filling your chest. It is a warm, golden liquid that effortlessly replaces the old, acidic residue of bitterness. It flows down into your resting limbs, filling you with the quiet, undeniable confidence of someone who knows exactly who they are. You do not need to chase recognition anymore. You do not need to force the world to see you. In this vast, beautiful nebula, you are perfectly recognized by the universe itself. You are bathed in the sweet, golden light of your own effortless mastery. Rest in this weightless, drifting sanctuary. Your wisdom requires no effort tonight. You have nothing to prove. You are beautifully, inherently successful simply by lying in the dark and allowing yourself to gently, completely exist. You are drifting weightlessly through the vast, starlit sanctuary of your own profound success. The magnificent clouds of purple and gold have saturated your spirit with the deep, quiet knowing of your inherent worth. The heavy armor of bitterness has been entirely washed away by the silver rain. The complex, exhausting grid of the waking world has been meticulously dismantled, leaving you perfectly untethered. Your brilliant, penetrating aura is seamlessly retracted, forming an impenetrable, mirrored shield that holds you in absolute, unconditional safety. You have accepted the cosmic invitation. You are finally, beautifully empty. Now, as we prepare to cross the ultimate threshold into the depths of dreamless sleep, the atmosphere around you undergoes its final, most delicate transformation. Listen to the acoustic space as the last, lingering melodic elements gracefully bow out. The sweeping synthesizers, the warm cinematic chords, the subtle echoes of the sanctuary, they all slowly, gently dissolve into the infinite silence. All that remains is the absolute, purest, deepest delta sleep frequency. It is a slow, rhythmic, nearly imperceptible hum, hovering perfectly between 1 and 2 hertz. You do not just hear this frequency. You feel it at the very core of your bones. It is the ancient, cosmic pulse of profound physical restoration. It wraps around your central nervous system like a heavy, weighted blanket, signaling to the deepest parts of your brain that the time for observation is officially over. In your mind's eye, watch as the beautiful, swirling colors of the nebula slowly begin to dim. The purple and gold gracefully surrender to an incredibly rich, comforting, and flawless blackness. It is the texture of thick, heavy velvet. At the very top edge of your awareness, there is only the absolute faintest hint of a slow-moving, silvery gradient, a gentle, glowing reminder of the protective shield that flawlessly guards your rest. The rest of your internal landscape is beautifully, perfectly dark. As you sink deeper into this velvet void, we are going to invite the physical body to experience a state uniquely designed for the projector soul. elegant rest. For you, rest is not merely a desperate pause between exhausting periods of labor. It is not a frantic attempt to recharge a physical battery that was never meant to be drained in the first place. For the aligned projector, rest is a sacred, luxurious art form. It is the sweet, effortless grace of non-doing. It is the exquisite feeling of being entirely unbothered, completely unavailable, and flawlessly detached from the mechanical turning of the world. Feel this elegant rest moving deliberately through your physical vessel. It begins as a magnificent, heavy warmth pooling at the base of your skull, slowly cascading down the length of your spine. As it travels, it completely unhooks your muscles from the demands of gravity. Your limbs are becoming incredibly, beautifully heavy. Your arms sink so deeply into the mattress that you can no longer tell exactly where your skin ends and the bed begins. Your legs are entirely immobilized by the luxurious, sinking weight of total relaxation. This is not a restrictive heaviness. It is a profound, deeply comforting paralysis. Your body is locking itself safely into the earth, ensuring that you will not be moved, you will not be disturbed, and you will not be asked to perform. You are officially anchored in the absolute sweetness of non-doing. There is absolutely no guilt to be found here. In the waking world, the corporate grid constantly tries to inject shame into your rest, whispering that stillness is laziness. But in this velvet dark, you know the absolute, unshakable truth. Your stillness is your ultimate power. Your elegant rest is the very foundation of your profound wisdom. By doing absolutely nothing right now, you are honoring the deepest, most sacred mechanics of your human design. You are actively recalibrating your brilliant energetic field as the physical body surrenders completely to the heavy, luxurious paralysis of sleep. The brilliant, analytical projector mind finally closes its eyes. All day long, you have been the ultimate observer. You have watched, analyzed, processed, and guided. But right now, there is absolutely nothing left to see. The velvet darkness offers no complex puzzles to solve, no inefficient systems to optimize, and no foreign energy to read. It is completely, flawlessly empty. Give your mind absolute permission to dissolve into this beautiful emptiness. Let the complex thoughts naturally unravel, falling away like loose threads into the dark void below. The internal narrator goes completely offline. The intense, focused beam of your consciousness softens, widens, and gently fades into the background hum of the universe. You are slipping beneath the surface of conscious thought, You are descending gracefully into the purest, most restorative layers of the delta state. There is no friction here. There is no resistance. There is only the slow, majestic, rhythmic wave of the deep dark, rocking you gently into total, absolute surrender. Let yourself sink. Relinquish your final grip on the waking world. You are perfectly held in the silent, silver-guarded sanctuary of the night, completely consumed by the sweet, elegant harmony of dreamless peace. You are resting at the absolute center of the heavy, velvet dark. The descent is flawless and complete. The brilliant, absorbing beam of your aura is safely tucked away, resting silently within the mirrored silver sphere. The heavy, sharp armor of bitterness has been entirely transmuted, replaced by the warm, golden resonance of sweet, effortless success. You have unhooked from the grid. You have stepped away from the exhausting switchboard of the waking world. You are finally, completely, and beautifully empty. Here, in the profound depths of the delta state, your consciousness is entirely untethered from the demanding physical realm. The boundaries of the room around you have completely dissolved into the vast, infinite cosmos of your internal sanctuary. The aggressive, mechanical ticking of time has gracefully collapsed into a single, beautiful, eternal moment of stillness. There is no tomorrow hovering on the horizon, demanding to be managed, optimized, or fixed. There is no yesterday requiring your deep analysis. There is only this flawless, suspended darkness, holding you in absolute, unshakable safety. Because you have accepted the cosmic invitation to stop doing, the true biological miracle of your projector design can now seamlessly unfold. In this state of elegant rest, the universe quietly steps in to nourish the profound wisdom you carry. Deep within your resting physical vessel, microscopic acts of healing are occurring automatically. Your central nervous system is meticulously repairing itself, soothing the exhausted, overstimulated pathways that spend all day absorbing the complex energies of others. The mirrored sphere around you breathes with a slow, rhythmic pulse, actively repelling the static of the world so that your pure, untainted frequency can beautifully recalibrate. You do not need to guide this healing process. You do not need to oversee your own restoration. You are completely off duty. You are finally, wonderfully useless to the endless machinery of the corporate grid. And in that magnificent uselessness lies your ultimate liberation. The universe is holding you exactly as you are, recognizing the immense value of your silent existence. As you drift even deeper into this majestic, weightless silence, the sound of my voice will gently begin to fade. It will slowly dissolve into the rich, low frequencies of the night, becoming nothing more than a faint, comforting echo in the distance. You will no longer need my guidance, because your spirit already knows the ancient, familiar pathway through these dark waters. You are entirely supported by the vast, protective silver light of your own perfectly sealed aura. The journey inward is beautifully complete. Before my voice leaves you entirely, before the final thread of human language dissolves perfectly into the cosmic void, I offer you this final blessing. You do not need to analyze these words. You do not need to hold on to them. Let them gently wash over your resting spirit, absorbing them effortlessly into the quiet, golden center of your being. May you feel deeply seen for who you are. May your profound wisdom rest in the quiet dark, entirely free from the agonizing pressure to initiate. May your life be filled with sweet harmony and happiness, recognizing that your success is a state of grace, not a product of force. As you drift into the absolute silence, remember that your guidance is a breathtaking, miraculous gift to this earth. But tonight, your only job is to rest. Namaste. The world is asleep. The mirrored shield is sealed. There is absolutely nowhere else to be. Surrender entirely to the beautiful, infinite dark. Sleep